What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer doing another video today, and it's going to be Pendulum Magicians. I've played this quite a bit, quite a few times on the channel, but I have changed up the deck quite a bit, and you'll see why here in a second. So unless, I was kind of doing this like combo version. This is still combo deck, obviously, but it's not the same. So I made a video about Blue Eyes a while ago, probably like a month ago, and I showed off this combo with Hulk, right? And it was really pretty cool. It was a fun deck to play, fairly consistent, but you can actually do the same exact combo in Pendulums, and I think it's significantly better for a few reasons. So you run copies of everything. So in this case, I opened up Pendulum Call and Duelist Alliance, so I can get Time Pendulum Graph, and on top of those disruptions, these 3 Omni Negates, I have the Pendulum follow-up for next turn, first of all, and then I have these 3 negates, and I also have the Time Pendulum Graph, so I'm going to be able to pop a card and send a card on the board. Like, that is just so crazy to me. So I'm like actually really happy with where this is at right now, and the deck is extremely consistent. So the whole like kind of like point of the deck, or what you're working towards, is going into Hulk without normal summoning. That was how it was before, but it's because you want to go through this combo, and then you want to be able to do one last Pendulum Summon at the end to go into Shen Shen. At least that's the idea for me. You can also go into Omega to rip a card out of your opponent's hand, which is pretty nice actually. But I like Shen Shen. I think it's an underrated generic synchro monster, in my opinion. This combo is the same pretty much. I guess I could do a step-by-step combo tutorial. I'm playing around Lightning Storm here, if you are wondering why I'm putting that in defense position. I mean, you technically could watch that Blue Eyes combo I did a while ago, but, you know, whatever. Alright, so there we go. I'm going to be able to get this back to my hand. One more Pendulum summon. This is going to summon out from the deck a level 5, if you can believe there is a level 5 Pendulum. And that's Shen Shen right there. So, 3 Omni Gates, a pop and ascend, and every card that goes from his field is banished instead, which kills this strategy, Speedroids. Besides all this other disruption that I have here. We'll keep going through here. The cool thing about this Pendulum deck is that I've taken out a lot of the Pendulums, and I've really streamlined the process, which I think was a big problem for Pendulums, at least when I was playing it, that you don't have any room for disruption at all. And also you get stopped a whole lot from hand traps. I now have Forbidden Droplets, which is pretty cool. And, you know, obviously I can get rid of one of those crossouts, go into the whole combo, and like you just need less to pop off, and I think that's kind of the point. And also, if your opponent does break your board, well, I don't know if you've heard of this thing called pendulum summoning, but it's absolutely insane. And Harmonizing Magician is also super crazy because it summons from the deck, meaning that the rest of your extra deck can really be focused on like access code talker or really powerful synchros that can you know, go for the attack. And actually, this deck is much more versatile than you might think. I'm going to play against Morphages at some point, and I'm going to show off like some really cool stuff that you can do to like get through. Like, you would think that, you know, if you couldn't special summon, like, you're screwed, but it's actually not the case. There's actually quite a bit you can do. Forbidden Droplets is obviously just so good. I do have the effect veiler in here just for Crossout. I have like about like any target you could possibly think of. And I probably took out the Crossout Designators and like kept these hand traps in just because, you know, they're good generic hand traps. And also those hand traps can also help you go through your combo. They are tuners. Like, that is nuts. That is really good, especially for this deck. I really like, you know, the transformation here. Here's probably just anything else. It's Egyptian Gods. The Exchanging Exalt actually looks kind of nice in theory, but it's not too great because I can negate it. This is legitimately playing an Egyptian God deck. It's like they made... Ugh. This is just frustrating. Like, these support cards for the Egyptian Gods that just aren't good. Well, they're good like individually, but there's just no anything to bring them together. Well, I think the Megatens next are actually going to be modeled after the Egyptian Gods, so hopefully they kind of remedy that. I'm not playing around Lightning Storm here, which I should be, I think. Most of the time I think I do it, but what are you going to do? And I think I am able to achieve full combo here. If this isn't full combo enough, 3 Omni Negates. And there we go. There's a Shen Shen. And I can also set the Forbidden Droplets, which is pretty nice. Although I most likely will not need to use it. He's going to set all of those, and we'll just go here. I'll start popping his back row. That's a Mirror Force. They all get banished too, which is just even more nice, right? Here's Phantom Knights. I don't know why. I played this deck in casual, obviously, as a casual strategy. It just surprised me that I was playing like a Phantom Knights deck in casual. That's pretty, that's really stretching the word casual there. And this actually looks pretty nice because I can activate Chronograph Sorcerer. That's going to get me a scale 8 with a Time Gazer. Because you don't have to special summon Time Gazer, right? Normally you do. And it's also, it can be used as one of those like going into Hulk without normal summoning. But in this case, I can actually just use it as a scale, which is neat. Okay, there goes the Baroness. Not playing around Lightning Storm again. And there we go. Can get Pendulum Call, place in the Pendulum Zone. Yeah, he surrenders, but yeah, that is super pog in my opinion that I was able to do that. Okay, pog. I'm really cool. Anyways, okay, I got a Nibiru. The back row is actually kind of scary. There can be only one. That's okay. But Purple Poison Magician is really just, it's so good. This guy goes for the low scale, but that's quite alright because, well, I technically could have Pendulum Summon, but there can be only one. I'm going to go ahead and negate that. And I'm going to, like, what I want to do is crash into something so I can get rid of the there can be only one. I still have the trap too. That could also help me, you know, get through this kind of awkward form disruption. But if he gets over this, I'm popping it. Either destroys by battle or card effect. It's very hard to get around this card. Although one pop isn't always like the most powerful thing in the world. In this case, it actually is. There we go. So now I'm going to be able to Pendulum Summon next turn. Assuming I survive, which I think I will. He hasn't even touched my life points yet. So this is going to be a trap negation. This does nothing, because when it's activated, you can target an effect monster to negate effects, but I don't know why he activated it that turn. Actually, it was kind of a big mistake. Now I can normal summon and go through my combos just like that. Of course, I'm not going to be activating any traps either. So he's just kind of sitting duck there, and I really feel like that's a testament to how like resilient this deck is. Because you would think like it's pretty easy to stop Pendulums. Well, if you activate, I can't think of its card now, Imperial Order, and there's also the other one that makes you have to set spell cards before you activate them. Yeah, it's pretty rough. That does beat you pretty badly. Unless you open Purple Poison Magician, like you have to hard open it too, because it's not like you can activate Pendulum Call or Duelist Alliance. Very spell heavy deck. Here's Mystic Mine. I think this is an actual Mystic Mine deck, although when I'm going first, like there's just nothing that you're going to be able to do. Okay, that's a very random tech card. What else is he running in this? I'm kind of curious now. Oh, it's Exodia. There's a lot of cards in this deck. Memories of Hope. Oh, that's kind of nice, actually. You can draw a bunch of cards. Yeah. I get it. I don't know what the Pantheism's for, though. He only runs Pantheism. Huh. Unless he wants to be able to discard Pantheism with Pantheism. Search Pantheism. I don't think that's very good. Anyways, this is going to be pretty good for me. I already have the Ash in hand. I still have an Effect Veiler too. That's kind of the cool thing about running Crossout Designator in this deck too, by the way. Alright, so I can just pop that back row. I can let that go through, it's fine. And then I can normal summon this, go into an IP Masquerade, go into an Access Code Talker that cannot be destroyed, and has a whole bunch of attack too. Which is always nice to be able to do something like that. Here is more against Egyptian God. Lightning Storm, you know, when you're going second, you take out the Crossout Designators, which is why I did this exactly. He goes for the Slifer with no attack, interestingly enough. I will go ahead and destroy all of those, so he can't destroy, like, you know, monsters that I control. Although now the more I think about it, though, it's like, Slifer already does like a lot, right? Like for destroying monsters, you would think I'd have a different effect. You would think that they would be opposite effects for Obelisk and Slifer, those quick play spells. Alright, so I run Castel, which I know is silly, But really the only thing the deck is missing from being able to play a lot of the times is being able to get rid of like problem monsters. This is actually one of my favorite tech cards right now. I think it's a good tech card in the format, to be honest with you. At the very least, considering how powerful my turn 1 boards are, like the rest of the extra deck can be filled with cards like this, like to be able to get you out of every other situation. Here's Dragoon, and this is like a really, really quick duel. I actually don't understand why or what happens. So, he has the Dragoon, and he does have Eagle Booster, so it's going to be unaffected. This is actually pretty, like a really smart play, in my opinion. Although I don't know why he's not playing Phoenix Enforcer. Anyways, I activate Forbidden Droplets, and I discard Chronograph to negate. He doesn't respond with Eagle Booster until now. Did he not realize? Because I'm like 99% sure that Forbidden Droplets, like these don't count as spell cards in the hand. It's like he should have been able to respond with Eagle Booster. Maybe it's a glitch. I don't know. This is like a question I wanted to pose because I don't understand the ruling. It may have just been a mistake by him, but he goes ahead and surrenders obviously after that because I have full combo. Okay, we'll go to DDD. It's like I'm playing Crossout Designator. No one's playing hand traps anymore until I take it outright, and then when I play, everybody's running hand traps. All right, so this is like a great example of like this wouldn't have been a great board if I was just playing Pendulum Positions like I did before, but 1 Pendulum Summon equals 3 Omni Negates, and I also had the Time Pendulum Graph here, which is pretty nice. I'm going to be able to get 2 pops with it too. This combo is pretty standard stuff, of course. I think this is one of the best decks to use it in, personally. And I think I even get the Chen Chen in there. I may go for the Psyframe Omega this time. I don't remember what I did in this duel, but he's got the Red Eyes Fusion, which really is not an issue, unless he's able to bait out 3 Omni Negates. I cannot let Mystic Bind go through. This is like a really popular card in the format too, which is great for this deck specifically because of it's like harsh negates you're able to put on the board. There goes the Pot of Disparity. I let this go through. I mean, he did have the Dark Ruler and more off the top, but it's like, okay, I have 1 more Omni Negate and I have 2 more pops. I'm pretty sure that like I'll be fine, right? If he did go for that, which he didn't, because he didn't have anything else in his hand. Here's Cyber Dragon. Looking pretty good too, because I can discard the Dark Worm, which is a free special summon. So like I've just comboed through, which is like it makes this card usable, like way more usable. Because normally you want to just always dump it to the graveyard, but if it's in your opening, at the very least it's like not like a horrifying brick to have in your hand. All right, there goes the Cupid. Stop me if you've seen this before. There's just a couple more duels. I didn't want to make this the longest video ever because the combo is the same throughout. Just a few nuances here and there that I wanted to discuss. There we go. I'm playing around Lightning Storm like a pro. Let's go. I still have a lot of follow-up in my hand, too, because I opened the Oath Dragon, which is just kind of crazy. And I'm so, like, this doesn't count as a Pendulum Magician monster, so even if you activate Pendulum Call, like, Chronograph can still go through, which is really nice. And this time I did. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to... This is technically a pretty decent play, because you're ripping a card out of your opponent's hand, and they only have like 5 cards to work with. You have 3 Omni Negates. Maybe Shen Shen is better. I don't know. He actually did pretty well to get over this, but this is kind of like that example of like, yes, I can Pendulum Summon now. Which like pretty much puts me over the top. There we go. And I can Pendulum Summon 2. This can go into another 4, which can go into Tornado Dragon or something like that. Because I do run Zeus, and this is like also a pretty decent tech card. So I'm able to do a lot of cool stuff in this deck, obviously. Also, the 4s that help you, get over some trouble like back row, all that good stuff. Here's a Morphage, and this is like the last duel I will show. So it's going to prevent me from searching, and it's going to prevent me from going into the extra deck. We'll see how I'm able to get through it. And also, the Wind Pegasus is there. This is a pretty decent opening, although this is going to be a dead card in the hand. Dogmatic Punishment. This is good, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and search the Supreme King Gate 0. I'll get over one of them. This card has to tribute, so He's going to tribute his monster. He's going to pendulum summon again. So he's kind of got it figured out the loop, but an 1800 attack body is actually like too big for Morphages. I can go ahead and set Pendulum Call, Time Pendulum Graph, which is pretty neat. I set all three of these because I needed to let the Time Pendulum Graph, you know, have a chance to be activated. It worked out for me here because I'm going to be able to set one of my scales to pop the back row. There we go. Use the effect. I'm going to pop those. And the Wind Pegasus is going to shuffle back the Crossout Designator. Why he doesn't shuffle back the Time Pendulum Graph, I do not know. But I definitely want to be able to pop again. So I'm going to get rid of one of his scales there. Just fighting along. And now it's like, it's kind of tipping in my favor, especially with the Pendulum Summon coming soon. At least you would think off of any decent draw. He's going to flip this up. He's going to go to the end phase. Okay, so I can go to the Curtain Raiser, which gains a lot of attack. I think this is going to tribute itself. Yep, you got to destroy this card, which is pretty cool, and he's got to surrender. That was pretty neat to be able to even play through that duel, especially with the deck as silly as Pendulums. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Jeez.